when we first met, I think it was at the Republican convention in 2016, and we were having a conversation, and you told me at the time that you had some doubts about the reliability of wind power. And we're really seeing that in Texas. I guess that backs up your doubts.
Well, uh, wind power is not firm power, and they don't work well in ice storms. They don't work well when the wind's not blowing. They when the weather swings, they are unreliable, and it could be worse. We could be in Texas this morning, and anyway. So it it buttresses what we've always thought. In Idaho, we're blessed with abundant green power, the original green power. It's hydroelectric, and that is renewable. It's reliable. You don't have to worry about the non-firm sources, which are the windmills, solar, etc. This is firm power. We're blessed to live here and in these areas where our power providers are based on hydro, which brings up, what in the world are we going to? Why are we talking about breaching dams? This is an idea that comes around every so often. It 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 doesn't make sense to me. But let's break down the proposal real quick here. Number one, Idaho stakeholders were not involved in the process. The idea smacks of having gone to the states of Oregon, the states of Washington, all of the NGOs, which is code for all the environmental groups. They all, the tribes, etc., all have signed off on this, and to push this back and lay it in the water community in Idaho. That process is flawed. So we could talk a lot about that. What about the thousands of megawatts of electrical power that will be foregone by the breaching of those four dams? What are we going to replace that with? Do you think for 1 second that the states of Oregon or Washington are going to site small modular nuclear reactors there to replace that power? I think not. That I think they're looking to Idaho to cite that. Not that I'm against them at all, but anyway, I don't think those states are going to step up and do anything to replace that. Many of your cities here in Idaho rely on BPA power. Many of the consumers in the state are on BPA power on the various co-ops. And what about them? They enjoy low electrical rates right now. The only thing that this idea will do is raise those rates. If we're going to have a serious discussion, this what kind of gets me as bad as any of them, Bill, is that if we're going to have this serious discussion about returning salmon to Idaho, there's not one word mentioned about predator control at the mouth of the Columbia River.
Yeah.
It is estimated that over 35% of the adult salmon coming back are eaten by predators, and before they ever get to Idaho. Yet there's not one mention of that. What about Idaho's only seaport is the port of Lewiston. We barge 50% of Idaho's wheat goes out that port to the coast, and 10% of the wheat nationally goes out that port. And that, and so throw a couple of $1 billion at it. I guess they want to build beef up the train system, whatever. But the cheapest way to transport grain is the way we're doing it right now. Every other alternative will either have to be heavily subsidized by taxpayers, or the price is going to go up to the farmers. And then, last but not least, we have signed all of these agreements with water from the snake under the Endangered Species Act, biological opinion. Every year we send out 427,000 acre-feet of water for fish flush. Congressman Simpson admits that breaching the dams will not guarantee salmon survival. So when that doesn't work, they're going to come after Idaho water for additional fish flush. We can ill afford to do that. And anyway, arguably this is a bad idea any way you want to look at it.
And the other aspect too, and a caller told me last week, people wouldn't be able to live in southern Idaho if we go through all of this, because eventually we revert to where it was before irrigation, and it was a tough haul for anyone trying to settle here.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. In addition, all of the uplands will have to be, we've seen where they manage exclusively for salmon. Then any little thing that you do in the drainage above the river, think the South Hills, think, so public land grazing is always comes under fire. It's always a handy scapegoat, or on these types of things. The custom and culture that we have come to enjoy in Idaho is based on our river and how we manage that. It's the basis for our very economy, particularly in our part of the state. And why would we be messing with that? We all want clean water, etc. The system is not perfect, but we're working on it, and I'm not willing to gamble on this one.
Before I let you go, I'm just going to pass along a quick message. The president of the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce, Penny Main, wishes you well this morning, and a good morning from her.
Well, then the same right back to Penny.
Thank you much for your time, sir.
Well, you're welcome. And we'll talk to you later, Bill. Thank you.
All right, take care now. Speaker of the House, Scott Bedke, joining us this morning on News Radio 1310 KLIX and newsradio1310.com. Coming up in just a few minutes following the news at 7:30, Brent Reinke joins us, Twin Falls County Commissioner. And I do want to point out, tomorrow morning going to be a busy day. We have Idaho Fish and Game. We have Twin Falls County Sheriff's Office and Pastors Roundtable. So those are some of the things on our docket over the next couple of days. The news is next from our own Bonita by Asa. It's 26 at 7:30.